Hi, this is Emily Ianelli Edward. Um, I'm very tired. I'm feeling a little down, depressed, trying to find my way, trying to get ready to make a very, very big move. I'm not emotionally ready for it, but I have no choice. I am struggling financially, trying to do the best thing I can, and that's to sell my house at a reasonable price so I can move to a more affordable location and be there for my family. I'm very concerned about what's happening today that I have no control over. I lived my life. I did all the right things. I feel like no matter what I do, I'm still affected by what's happening. I was thinking of leaving the country to move to Canada, but unfortunately I would have to split up with my family, and I'm not able to do that. That is not what I want. I welcome the idea of leaving and going to Canada, but I could never leave my family behind. That's not what I am. That's not who I am. Although I'm very concerned about things, and rightfully so, I could never abandon my family. My family is my life. They mean everything to me. It's not perfect. Sometimes I wonder if I had the help from when I bought the house, if I'd be in a situation like this. But that's all water under the bridge now. I can't go back. I can only move forward. And I'm a CPA, I'm an accountant, I counsel clients, and I read the numbers on the wall, and I see that it's not possible for me to stay. I have a long-term disability policy that terms out on December 31st, 2026. I lose $3,000 a month in income. I can't afford to stay when my Social Security disability, first of all, is not guaranteed, it seems, because of what's happening in Washington. But that's $2,600 a month, and my mortgage is $3,200 a month. And with the real estate taxes increasing every year, that's not even a guarantee. It could go up to 33 or 34, and my Social Security won't match that. My Social Security won't match that. My Social Security as of now is approximately $2,600 a month, and my mortgage approximately $3,200 a month when I lose my long-term disability in a year and a half. So I have to be proactive, and that's why I'm in a mad dash to sell my house and find an affordable house where I can take the proceeds from my sale, pay off my mortgage, pay the closing costs, and hopefully walk away with enough to buy a house outright with no mortgage. That's my strategy, that's my plan, and take my family with me. But Matthew would have to remain behind until we could get transfer of services for him. That is very important that we get him transfer of services. But with all this uncertainty, I can't take him out of the group home right now. I have to make sure that we can find accommodations for him, get him into a program that will keep him busy and get him to have socialization, and then hopefully find him placement in a residence that's not far from where we eventually move to. I have a lot on my mind. I went through a very difficult and emotional day on April 16th. I've owned this house 21 years. That very day, April 16, 2004, when we were given the keys by our real estate agent to the house that we bought for $316,000. I also am deeply affected by my father's suicide, which took place on April 16th. 2009. That was very hard for me, and it still is today. Losing my mom was very difficult back in 1990. That was in March 21st, 1990, we lost her. That was a very difficult day. And likewise, April 16th of this year was very difficult because we lost my dad to suicide on April 16th, 2009. And no matter what time has elapsed, it's still with me. Just gonna put my hat on. And then on April 16th, 2007, a school that I studied at after I transferred from Nassau Community College, Virginia Tech, where I studied mechanical engineering, I was called at work by my dad on that very day, April 16, 2007. I was working at a CPA firm in Melville, quite Mantell, and my dad called me and said, "Did you see the news?" And I said, "What's going on?" And he said, "Virginia Tech, there's a shooting going on at Virginia Tech." And I couldn't believe what I was hearing. My father said, "Check it out." So I did, and I eventually learned that 32 people were shot and killed, including students and professors. And it was very, very emotional, very difficult, because I walked those campus grounds, and I loved Virginia Tech. I loved everything about the place, the school, the teachers, the community, the people. It was just devastating. I met many friends there, and I went to my classes, and I learned. I got a good education, and that just devastated me. So April 16th was a very difficult day for me. The only highlight of that day was when I found an envelope as I was going through old mail, and it was written to me by my son, Matthew. But it was written like to Edward Ionelli III from Edward Ionelli IV, but he's really Matthew Edward Ionelli. So I just said, "Oh, what is this?" So I opened it, and I found a $50 bill with a note that said, "Dear Dad, I know you need some money. Here's $50. I hope it helps." And it was something that I needed, because I'm going through a lot. I'm going through a lot emotionally, mentally. It's not easy. I'm struggling, but I'm trying my best. But that was very helpful to me. It meant a lot to me. Not the money, just the kindness, the thought, the compassion of my son reaching out to me. And it was like a miracle. As simple as it was meaningful. It helped. I'm not doing well emotionally, mentally. I'm trying to keep a brave face. Trying to be strong. I'm not happy here anymore. I don't know where I'm gonna live. I think about going upstate New York. I think of North Carolina, but I'm not really that sure. And I don't know what's going on with the politics, but I feel I'm under threat. And when I spoke with the Canadian immigration attorney, they said if I needed to seek refuge there, that I could, but I'd be abandoning my family, and I can't do that. I have so much on my mind. I've even thought of suicide to help my family, to save them. I can't afford to lose my house. 21 years I put into this house. I can't lose that. But if I have to save my family, then I would sacrifice my life for them. I have $1 million life insurance policy that I would make go to them. I've owned it for 21 years, as long as I've owned this house. And I would definitely save them. I've lived a long life, enough life, 64 years. I'm not in the best of health. I have diabetes. I am suffering from depression. I am very, very sad. I'm not enjoying my life. I wish that I could do more. I wish that I had the ability to withstand all that I'm going through. Sometimes I don't know. All I know is that I love my family. I would do anything to help them, my son especially. And I am struggling, but I'm trying my best. I'm trying to hold on. I have my 3 cats that I adore, and I don't want to ever think of putting them in harm's way. I would never do that. My family, my cats, they are my family too. All I can do is try to hold on, be strong, and do the best I can. But I'm really suffering. I'm having a very difficult time. And I pray, I try to have hope. I have wisdom, I have knowledge, I have experience. I have the backing of my parents who are up in heaven. I know in my heart that I would not do anything that would hurt my family. But sometimes I am very, very scared of what's happening. And I don't feel safe. I don't know why this is happening. I never voted for this. I voted for Joe Biden in 2020. I voted for Kamala Harris in 2024. I never voted for this. I never voted for this. To me, I knew what was happening. And I knew that this would be something very scary. And I warned people. I told them, I said this is not the direction that we want to go. But nobody listened to me. How come I could understand the dangers, but they couldn't? Why was it that I could see through the lies, but they didn't? Why is it that I knew better, but they didn't? I'm not special. I'm not a genius, but I knew. So I don't understand why they didn't. They, meaning the others who voted for him. I walked away from people. I got into arguments with people. I fought, and I knew that I was right. And I see what's happening, and I don't like it. And I know it's wrong that this is happening. And I will always fight it. I am very, very depressed and sad and emotionally not doing well. Mentally, psychologically, emotionally, I'm very, very, very scared about everything. And all I can do is try my best to fight, to be there for my family, my son, my cats. Life is not easy. I know that. I've seen it through my father and my mother. They struggled. My father worked hard, and he did his best, and he did wonderful as a husband and a father to me, my 2 sisters. And he was wonderful to us and to my son and to all his grandchildren. Sadly, we lost one, my nephew, my sister's son. He died young, 26, in 2017. Gregory, I miss you. I love you. And I'm sad that you're gone. You were a good kid. It's so sad that you had to go. But you're in a better place. This is not a good place here. I wish that I could do more for me, for my family, for my cats. All I can do is try. Hold on to hope. And pray. Pray for all those people suffering. That poor man in Maryland who was swept away from his family. Those college students who were swept away from what they know. They're students. They have opinions. What's wrong with that? That's what America's supposed to be. You're supposed to be able to say what you believe in, what you feel, what makes you get up in the morning. If you don't have that, you don't have your freedom. You don't have your rights. You don't have anything. When you're starting to feel persecuted, what kind of a life is that? That's not a life. That is a hell. And that's what's happening in this country. We're living in hell. And I don't want to. I can't. I'd rather die than live in this country. But I'm trying to do the right thing for my family. And I need to get out of debt. Because it's killing me. It's got a hold on me. I can't hold on to it anymore. I love my house. 21 years I'm here. But I can't do it anymore. I am very, very anguished, depressed. I have too much. I got 14 and a half years left on this mortgage. I can't handle it. I would have had the mortgage paid off originally 3 years earlier than 2034, because I bought the house in 2004. I was making advance payments. So 2031, and we're 25. But I had to refinance because I got into debt when I had to do siding on the house, when I had to do a new shower, safe shower for my mother-in-law because the tub was too dangerous. And I had the car loan and credit card debt. So I had to refinance. I had like $96,000 left on my mortgage. That now has now increased to 225, and I paid down to 217, and the payoff is 220. So if I do the numbers, if I can sell my house for 600, pay off the mortgage and closing costs, hopefully walk away with $350K, and buy a house down, I don't know, south maybe, or upstate New York for like $329 to $340. Pay off and have no mortgage. That's what my goal is. If I had a client that I was consulting as their CPA, I would advise them to do the same, realizing I can't afford the house anymore. When I lose my long-term disability, I can't afford the house. Sorry for this damn pump. My diabetes. If I don't die by my own hand, I'll die by this, by diabetic coma. There was a young actress I found out, Michelle Trachtenberg, sadly, who died of diabetes. She was young. I don't know if she was even 40. But diabetes is a serious health issue. And this country is not even protecting us. They're getting rid of everything. They want to get rid of Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid. Department of Education, Department of Consumer Protection, Department of FDA, USDA, Department of Agriculture. They want to get rid of everything. They want to make this country into a living hell where we don't have any rights, where we don't have freedoms, and we live in fear. And I don't want that. I don't want that for me. I don't want that for my family. And I'm going to fight because that's all I can do. I can only do what I can do. I do not support this. Never would I support this. And I don't understand anyone who would want to support this. This is not right. This is not what America is. And if I have to die to protect my family, then I will. Because I hate this country now. I don't believe in this country. I wear a Canadian hat more proudly than I would ever wear a U.S. hat now. I'm a Met fan, but I went to a Met game recently with my son and I wore my Blue Jay hat. I didn't even stand for the national anthem, but I did stand for the Canadian national anthem. And somehow I wish I could be transported to Canada on my own, but with my family. I wish that could be. As of now, I have to try to do my best, to be level-headed, and to fight, and to do what I have to do, which is to sell my house and find a place that I can afford. It's the hardest thing that I'm going to. Not only do I have to sell a house, but I have to buy a house that I can afford. And I feel like I'm all alone. I don't know how I'm going to weather through all this, but I have to try my best. I can't let my family down. I can't. Thank you for listening. And I pray. Sorry again for my pump. I pray. I hope. I have to fight. Thank you.